Hey guys, what's up? It's Aalyezah. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, we are going to be talking about Wattpad. Also, disclaimer, like, my cousins and my sister are, like, in the background living life, so I can't stop them from doing whatever. If you hear noise, that's what it is. But today, I thought I would give you guys, like, tips and tricks on Wattpad and, like, kind of explain, like, what it is in a way, because people do ask me questions on, like, how do you get so many reads on your books, and, like, just, like, how to write a book, and, like, how to keep your readers, like, into it, you know? So I was like, okay, I'll just make a video of it, and I thought I would do this because I thought it would be helpful for you guys. But yes, if you're not already, subscribe to my channel because I upload videos every single week, every single Monday, and sometimes bonus ones throughout the week if anybody drops anything related to music. Like this video if you like it and if it helped you out in any way. But yes, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into this Wattpad tips and tricks video. And yeah, to mention, the sun's kind of like playing peekaboo, so it's gonna be very bright and then very dark. So the first thing I want to talk about are the books that I have on my Wattpad. If you guys didn't know already, I have a Wattpad and I have plenty of books for you guys to read. That'll be the first link in the description box so you guys can go and check out my Wattpad, because I have like about 9 published books on there, and so I'm gonna kind of go over like what they're called and stuff like that really quickly. Basically, Wattpad is the hub for books and fan fictions. If you ever want to read a book, you can go on here. If you ever want to read a fan fiction about anyone, you can literally search it, and there's most likely going to be some there. So that's what Wattpad is. Here's my Wattpad. It is at Giovanni Jar. You can go follow me. Once again, it's the first link in the description. Very first book I published on Wattpad is called Fighting for Love, and it is a Giovanni Jar fan fiction. It currently has 924 reads, 29 votes, and 16 chapters. This was the first book I ever published on Wattpad, but it wasn't the first one that I've ever written. So this book is completed. The second book that I ever published on Wattpad was actually the very first book I ever written, and it is on my fan page on Instagram, which is also Giovanni Jar, but it is called My Best Friend's Brother. It's completed. It is a Mario Selman fan fiction. It has 5K reads. It just hit 5K reads, 114 votes, and 96 chapters. The next book that I ever put out on Wattpad, Julian Jar fanfiction. It's called Tears Always Fall. It is completed. It has 2.74K reads, 132 votes, and 91 parts, aka chapters, whatever you want to call it. And my next book is the next book I published on Wattpad was my first book that ever blew up, like, insanely. And this isn't one of my favorite books because of the way I ended it and took the book, but I mean, you guys seem to really like it. It's called Joining Team 10. It's obviously a Team 10 fanfiction, but it is mainly focused on Yvonne Martinez, if you know who that is. It is completed. It has 36.5K reads, which is actually super crazy. It has 611 votes and 21 chapters. This isn't one of my favorite books that I've published, but you guys seem to really like it, so I'm leaving it out there. Next book is on hold because I'm writing like 3 other books right now. I kind of just put this one on hold because It All Starts With You. It is a Ethan Wacker fan fiction. If you don't know who that is, he's from Bizarre Bark. It has 4.92K reads, 120 votes, and 5 parts. The next book I published is called Touring, like tour, like you're going on tour. It's called Touring. It is a Max and Harvey fan fiction. This one's kind of on hold because I haven't published a chapter. I'm still writing them for this because I have so many books going on right now. But it has 680 reads, 50 votes, and 8 parts. So you guys can still go read these chapters as they're up because they're still public. But this one's called Dare. It is a Jacob Sartorius fan fiction. It currently has a 1.08K reads, 33 votes, and it has 19 chapters. I'm actually going to publish a chapter to this book today, so the day you're watching this, you'll be getting a chapter. So my most popular book right now is literally one that I'm super proud of, and I literally am obsessed with writing chapters for this book. A new chapter will also be coming out today. Get excited for that. It is called FIT, and it is a Daniel CV fanfic. It has 46K reads right now, and that's insanely crazy. 862 votes and 33 chapters / parts, and you guys legit love this book, and I'm super happy you guys do. I did not expect it to blow up that much, and it's just, I love you guys for reading it, so thank you. I appreciate you, and I see all your comments. The last book that I have published on Wattpad is called Falling Apart, and it is a Jonah Murray fanfic. It currently has 1.61K reads, 57 votes, and 14 chapters. Those are all the books that I have published. I have a few like drafts, which means like a few books that aren't published that I'm working on. And now I'm gonna get on into like how to create a book, how to create a story, and how to kind of like engage your readers to keep reading and get more viewers in a way. But yes, okay, the first thing, obviously, you're gonna be creating a book, but like what kind of, like, what's the genre the genre going to be? Like, is it going to be a novel? Is it going to be a romance? Is it going to be a mystery? Is it going to be a nonfiction, is it going to be fiction, is it going to be fan fiction. So you want to make sure like what kind of book you want to make is kind of down, because all of my books are fan fictions because I'm a fangirl, if you already couldn't tell, but all my books are fan fictions, so that's kind of like the genre I go for. Now that you got the genre out the way, like who do you want this book to be about? Do you want it to be about a certain celebrity, a certain person in your life? You can make up characters, like who do you want this book to be? What's going on for, like who do you want this book to be about? Like who's going to be the characters? Like that's kind of like what that is. And along with the characters, like you kind of want to know who you want to put in the book. You want to get an idea of who you want to be in the book, because it'll help you throughout the story while you're writing. Like who's the main character going to be? Is it going to be a girl? Is it going to be a boy? Are they going to fall in love? Are they going to get into fights? Are they going to do this and that? So you want to figure out who your characters are and kind of like their personalities, so that way you can kind of have an easier way to write your book. So you have your characters down. And the next thing you want to do is, like, what do you want the book to be about? Like, you want to have a unique storyline and, like, kind of a thought of what you want to happen in the book and what you want the book to be about, because it's going to help you in a way to write the book. So there's an about section on Wattpad, so that's kind of like what the story's going to be about. Unique way to explain what your book is about. You kind of want to come up with a good storyline. Another storyline I'm going to give you an example of, it says, a girl meets a guy who seems great at the beginning but turns into something she didn't expect. So, like, you kind of want to get an idea of what you want your book to be about. Next is coming up with a name for your book. Now, this could be the hardest thing ever, because I've had so many struggles of coming up with names, to the point where I went on Wattpad and searched names for, like, books. And I did get some ideas off of that, but it's kind of easier to plan out your story. If you know everything that you want to happen in the story, you kind of can, like, base a name off of that. So let's say somebody's gonna get heartbroken, you can name her Heartbroken. I know that's not that unique, but I want, like, your name should be very based upon what the book is. If you do need some name ideas, I'll have some books on Wattpad with a bunch of names linked in the description box, so you guys can go check them out, because I have struggles with coming up with unique names. So yeah, just come up with a name that's kind of based on the book, but unique at the same time. Now, a unique cover and or thumbnail, whatever you call it, it's the same with YouTube. Your thumbnail or your cover of your book is the first thing somebody's going to see. It's what's going to attract them to read the book. But your cover could be the simplest thing, and people still would want to read it because of the description that's on the book. So for all of mine, they're literally the most simplest things. I've never done anything too above and beyond for my covers, and they still get a decent amount of reads. So I feel like the main thing that people do look at nowadays is, like, the description of the book, and if the description is, like, pretty interesting, they're gonna click on the book and read it, because sometimes the picture's not that good, but the description is literally amazing. So you do want to make a pretty good cover, because it kind of does, you know, attract readers in a way, but I feel like you should really have a really good description under a picture that's decent. So yeah, you could literally get a picture from Google and put that as your cover. It'll totally work, but just make sure it's kind of related to the book that you're writing. Unique preview of the book, which is the description of the book. I wrote down here, this is literally what you need to, this is very important. It says, for the description, make it sound interesting, keep it simple, but make it so readers want to click the read button. But at the same time, don't make it too revealing, because you don't want to reveal all the secrets that happen in the book, because then they're already going to know what's going to happen, then they're not going to read it. So you want to make it simple, very interesting, not too revealing, but, like, very understanding to make them want to click that read button and add it to their library. Like, it's really hard to describe. It sounds interesting, keep it simple, but make sure it's not too revealing, because if it's too revealing, they're already going to know what's going to happen, then they're not going to want to read it, because they know what's going to happen. So yeah, great. Plan out your story. I know this can be really hard, especially if you don't know if you don't really know how to write a story, which is the reason why you should plan it out. Like, jot down some ideas you have of what you want to happen in the book, and it'll really help, like, the writing process, because if you plan it out rather than just free writing, your book's going to go in a whole different direction than in a direction you would want it to go into. So if you kind of plan it out in your head or on a piece of paper, it'll really help you guide yourself while you're writing your book. Some books you can write intros, which basically means you introduce, like, the characters, their backstory, their personality, like what happened to them in the past, like if they had good things happen to them, like how they, moved out to LA, how they became a performing arts school. I do have multiple intros for multiple books, because it does help the readers learn a little bit more about, like, why they live there now, or, like, how their past is, and then, like, their past kind of comes back to them in the book. So that's kind of like what I do. You don't have to do that, but I think it's really cool, really helpful for the readers to understand who that person is and like their backstory, because it kind of makes it feel real in a way. So I recommend that. You don't have to, but I recommend it. This tip is do not force yourself to write. I've had multiple my hair's sticking up again. I have had multiple like issues where I would force myself to write a chapter because you guys were requesting a new chapter so often that I was just like, okay, I'm gonna write one. But it's super normal to not like have any like inspiration. That's called writer's block, and writer's block is completely normal. It basically means you're not inspired to write, you don't know how to continue to write, and it's super normal. Like, take your time. I've had writer's block for over a month for FIT because I didn't know how to continue it, even though like I had an idea of what I wanted to happen, but I didn't know how to continue it in a way. So I got over that, got inspired, and now I'm writing chapters for it. So kind of just like write when you want to write and write when you feel inspired, because if you feel forced, it's like nothing is going to come to your head and it's not going to help. So just write when you want to write, and if you know you have writer's block and you feel bad for not uploading chapters, you can always send a message out to your followers on Wattpad to let them know that you have writer's block and that you're probably going to not be writing for a little bit because you don't feel inspired. It's happened to me multiple times. It's completely normal, but yeah, do not force yourself to write. Write when you want to write, publish when you want to publish. So yeah, it's called proofread. Basically what this means is right after you write a full chapter, or after you write the longest chapter on earth, you want to proofread it to make sure you haven't made any mistakes. And what I do is I always, I write the chapter and I reread it, and usually I make mistakes. I'll probably like rephrase a word or like change the way that person said it because it doesn't fit their personality or it just doesn't sound right. You obviously want to check your spelling because you don't want any spelling errors. And if you're like me and you just write a bunch and you just write a bunch, like let's say this is like the longest paragraph you've ever written, but you don't want that to be a full chapter, you can always like cut it off on a cliffhanger. You can just cut it off on a point where you think that'll be a good time to end that specific chapter. Be as consistent as possible with uploading chapters. I know you do get writer's block, and that's totally acceptable. Like, I'm not saying just publish when you have writer's block. That's completely normal. But upload chapters as frequently as you can. Like, if you can't upload every single week, just let your followers know that. Just let them know, like, oh, I can't upload every single week, but I will upload when I can. I try to upload maybe twice a week, one chapter once a week for every book, but it is kind of hard considering I do have 3 books. I'm writing 3 books at the moment. But just be as consistent as you can, whether that's every single day of the week, once a week, once a month. Like, just be as consistent as you possibly can, so that way your readers do not forget about your book and not read it when you have a new chapter coming out. But that's that. Interact. What I mean by this is the people that are reading your book literally love your book for a reason, because they're reading it. So you show your appreciation, like when they comment on your post, when they're like, I love this, when there's the next one coming out, reply to them, like reply to their comments. You can follow them if you want. You can DM them. Like, literally do whatever you can to interact with them. I love replying to you guys' comments. I love reading your comments on my books. It literally makes me the happiest person ever. So if you ever have anything to ask, you can literally DM me on Wattpad and ask me any questions or give me suggestions, because I love to take you guys' suggestions. And the last thing is very, very, very important, is to do it because you love it. Do not write a book because you want views, because you want followers, because you want reasons, because you want to be popular. You write it because you want to. Like, I know you could get caught up in the numbers, but just make sure you're writing the book because you absolutely love it. When I first started writing it, I was like really bored, and so now I'm literally writing a bunch of books. What's happening to my voice? But yeah, those are all of the tips and tricks and advice and all of that stuff I have for you guys today. If this video did help you out in any way, please let me know, because I would definitely love it if I did help any of you guys. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you are new, because I have videos every single week. And yes, I really do hope this helps you guys out, because I do get lots of questions on this. And if you have any other questions, you could definitely DM me on any of my social medias or on Wattpad, or comment below, and I'll definitely answer your questions if I didn't answer any of them. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys super soon with a brand new video, and I really hope this helped. I pray to Lord that this made sense and I don't have to refilm it, but yes, I'll see you guys super soon with a brand new video, and yeah, bye!